Hello and welcome back to Archicad in Minutes. In a previous lesson, we discussed about model view option, how you control the representation of elements. In our today's lesson, we are going to go further into what we call graphic override. If you are dealing with graphic override, it's how you graphically represent this element, more or less what we call quality control. So if you want to access your graphic override, you come down to documents and then you come down to graphic overrides and then you click on graphic override combinations. So by default, you have certain graphic override combinations, the ceiling plan, fire plan, up to structural plan. If you want to create a new set of graphic override combination, you click on new and then you input your new graphic override. And then in order to manage rules, we click on this and then we have series of rules ranging from the zone categories, structural, fire zone, fire rating, check errors. So you have it. So at this point now, you are creating a specific rule. So when you create different rules and then you want them to be combined, that's when you use the former, which is this. You have it as a combination of rules. This one you add rules, and then this where you add the criteria. So in adding criteria, you will come down or you search. If you are going to use a layer name, for example, you either click on this the element type, or you come here and say layer name. So for example, if you are dealing with what we call layer name, is that you are setting a rule with respect to a layer name. If layer name contains, then you impute. So that's why when we at that moment that we discuss about layers and layer combination, we say it's good to have a set of presets or prefix names. So it contains, for example, I'm dealing with an MEP layers. So I will say layer name contains MEP should be this. So element type, I will change this element type, for example, to anything that is 3D types. So element type 3D types, layer name contains MEP. Then I will reconfigure this. Do I want the surface to change? Do I want the contour lines to change? So I will set it from here. And once you finish, you click OK. That's if you already create a duplicate. A duplicate, that's the new rule, and then you change, you add all the criteria, and you are okay. So in this case, we are going to make use of some of the presets that we have here. For example, assuming I want to send a presentation drawing and I want to make these walls to be solid black and any other thing to be solid black just for a presentation drawing. So I don't need to be creating a multiple Archicad file for presentation, or I will copy this one and place it by the side. So I will only use one in order to achieve multiple views, multiple presentation. So if I want to deal with this, since this one's already preset, on that document graphic override is already preset, I'm going to use what we call simplified plan. So simplified plan, I will come down to my floor plans. Either I right click here, I go to my view settings, or I come down here, I come to settings. So in settings now, we have this one that we call graphic override. So by default, no overrides. So the way you put, that's how you see it. So there's no any graphical changes. So if I want to take it to simplified plan, I come down here, I click on this and I click OK. and all my walls become solid black and my dimensions are solid blacks without actually changing the original settings of those walls. So if I take it back, I change it to no overrides, and then it becomes something like this. So let's go down to 3D and let's look at some of the effects. So in 3D, I have this. If I come down to settings and I want to change this one, let me take it to building plan. And then for my graphic override, I'm going to use structural plan. That's I want to start achieving what we call the BIM model quality control / quality assurance. So I click on structural plan and I click OK. Sorry, structural plan. Okay. So if you look at it now, basically all my structural elements are in complete red, while other ones are in gray, and then the whole type is transparent. So basically I don't want my windows to have the reddish color. So like these ones, they call it undefined, but you can change them to non-load bearings. So coming back to graphic overrides, if I want to tamper with this, I will come down to this, double click on these 3 dots, and then I will make my line type, turn it off. I will click OK. So all my windows they turn to black. So this one is a reinforced concrete beam, so that's why it's showing as red. So the capping, if I want it to be non-load bearing, I will change the property to a non-load bearing. The one that is undefined, I will make it as undefined. As in the case of the beds, the wardrobe, if you come down to what we call classification and properties, you see that is the structural function is undefined. So if I place it as non-load bearing, it will change to transparent because the rule is already in effect. So with this kind of view, you will visualize your quality control. Is there any intersection between your columns and your walls? Are your objects already in place? So you can achieve this detail by using graphic overrides without actually tampering with your basic settings of those elements. So you can play with it as much as possible. You can change everything to transparent by creating a rule for that. So, and then you come down here, settings, and then change the graphic override to the one that you want. If it is for fire plan, because we do not input the data, so you will see it as a gray. So if you want to assign time, it will change based on the time frame of those materials. This is Archicad in minutes. Thank you, and see you in our next lesson where we discuss about renovation tools and renovation filters.